Table Topics Master, Glynis Talley.
Thank you, Steve. I'm actually reusing a Table Topics that I did a few years ago with our club. I don't know if any of you remember, probably only Steve and Shay who possibly could remember this, but it was around, it must have been around a time of giving, because I've got it titled, Many People Are Focused on Giving, but at times we have to ask, what do you give a person who has everything? Which may cause some to question, what do we really need? So there's a debate against wants and needs. So we generally know what our needs are, but sometimes we get them confused with our wants. And there are skilled salespeople who can convince us that we need everything or need anything that they're trying to sell. So today, as Table Topics participants, you are going to be salespeople. And you're going to convince us that we need an item. And I have a list of items that you're going to sell to us. So who would like to go first?
No, I'll go, Glynis.
Okay. What number would you like?
I'll take number 7.
Number 7. Steve, you're going to sell us an Atari game console.
Madam Table Topics Master and fellow Toastmasters, you need this Atari game console. Why do you need it? Well, because I think you must be people who have nothing to do with your time. So you must have lots of spare time that you're trying to kill. So you need this device to help you just kill time. You could also use it as a paperweight. You know, if you want to work outside, you could put it on your paper and it could keep it from blowing away. And here's actually what you could use it for. When you have you probably don't want to do this for your kids because you don't want to spoil your kids. But if you have grandkids, you like to spoil them. So if your grandkids come over, you can let them play that as a reward if they've been good. And you could use it as a bribe to get them to do something. Then you could let them play one of these Atari games. And I believe we have some actually educational games on this Atari that could like help them to learn their letters and to read and to increase their vocabulary. So there you go. And you know what, since I have a lot of these, I'm going to sell this to you very cheap, and it is only going to be $1 for these. So I think, you know, this would be a good investment for you. Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Steve. Plenty of uses for that. And so hopefully you can find the games to it. All right, so as you can see how it goes, it's probably going to be an item that no one really wants anymore. So who would like to go next? Maha. Okay. Maha, give me a number between 1 and 9.
Number 3.
Number 3. Maha, I want you to sell me a flip phone, or sell us a flip phone. Motorola to be exact.
Dear Table Topics Master and fellow Toastmasters, today I have a very essential item for you, and that is a flip phone. Nowadays, most of us have smartphones. And while smartphones are a great invention, they also have come with a great cost. one of those costs is addiction. Many of us are addicted to our smartphones. We are constantly being bombarded with information and with news. Some of these news are good news, some of them are bad news. And our minds are constantly working and buzzing with a lot of information, some of which is unnecessary. While you may keep your smartphone, I recommend that occasionally you take a break from your smartphone and consider using a flip phone just for emergency purposes, be it making emergency phone calls or keeping in touch with those who are closest to you, like your children or other close family members. That is why I recommend for all of you guys to invest in this. Not only it will cost you probably less money, but it will also boost your mental health and even your happiness. Back to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Maha. Interesting perspective. I had heard at one point that Motorola was thinking about bringing back a flip phone for nostalgic purpose. I don't know, some people, they were in the market for it. And I had a coworker a few years ago. He would only use a flip phone because he kind of was one of those big brother is watching type people. And having the smartphone, you know, the government can track you and do everything, but with the flip phone, it didn't have that technology for tracking, so he thought. But so that was interesting. And that's why they never use smartphones. But okay, who would like to be next?
Glennis, I'll go.
Okay, which number would you like?
Do you have 10?
I do not, but I have 9.
Okay.
Nagum, I would like you to sell us a wall-mounted pencil sharpener.
We just got rid of those in our school. Oh. Okay. Madam Table Topics Master, Mr. Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters, I was asked to sell you a wall-mounted pencil sharpener. Have you ever woken up in the morning and looked around your house and saw all these new technologies in your house buzzing? I don't know if you have a Roomba on the ground walking with you, tripping you around in the house, or a new DVD player. I don't think these exist anymore. Who needs that? You got Netflix. Or all these other technologies. You have your phone, your Alexa. I don't know how your door opens, but I've seen those doors that open with keypads, and wondered, what do my children know about the past? How can I explain a floppy disk to them, or a Motorola phone, or anything like that, and tell them about the good old days of the times when we used to actually work for the things that we want? Something like a wall-mounted sharpener would do the work for you. If you have items like these, especially like the sharpener, keep it somewhere. If you have a place like your basement, your garage, I recommend that you keep some of these items to have your grandchildren, your children, your young relatives come by and visit and take a look. Look at all this beautiful museum of history of things that we did when we had to work. And maybe have them try it out for a fun day and see if they can figure out which item is which and what it's used for. It would be a great item to add to your collection. Back to you, Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Nagum. I have fond memories of my wall-mounted pencil sharpener. We used to have one in our basement because my sister and I would play school and we used it all the time. Is that Shehu? You're raising your hand to participate?
Okay. No. You called me
That's
already.
what
Okay.
happens when you scratch.
Yeah.
What number would you like?
What about 2?
Number 2, a rotary dial phone. You know what that is, right?
No.
Well, we used to have these phones. They could be wall mounted, or they could sit on a table. When you dialed, you had to actually, it was a ring. You put your finger in it and you turn it all the way around.
Oh,
And like if it was 244, and in dial, you have to dial your entire number. So it just took a little while to actually go through it. I should have got pictures.
Oh, yeah.
Madam Table Topic Master, fellow Toastmaster. The question is, I should market a what did you call the name again?
Rotary dial phone.
Rotary dial phone. So to me, what comes to my memory, I remember someone talking about this phone recently, that when they were young, they remembered being pulled with that cord of the phone, that whenever the mom is trying to help them to stand, like, oh, you know, those days when you are trying to have your kid not to move around. So the memory they have is to use that cord to to bring the kid, like, hey, come here, and they'll just use it to tell the kid. I guess with what is going on today, you are not able to do that because the kid might call 911 or something on you. But those days they were able to do that. But going back to the phone, marketing that phone, it's still, I'll go with Maha. It was a Maha that, no, Nagran that said we need such collection to be able to show kids that, oh, this is what we have. Those days that you are able, like, now I'm telling you to sit down, you won't sit down, I'll just use that and just bring you back. And so this is a good product that we should have. So I want to encourage the younger people, if you want to, let me don't use the word discipline. if you want to correct a child, there's a good product you are able to buy and be able to pull your child closer to enlighten them more. Madam Topic Master.
Thank you, Shehu. Well, that's an interesting use of a cord phone. But if anyone's interested, I've seen some YouTube videos where they put young people in a room with a phone and they have to figure out how to use it. And they can't figure it out. So it's one of those, I remember it as a child. Actually, my aunt had one in her house until she died, and she died in 2007. So that's why it's still kind of fresh in my memory, because I remember seeing one fairly recently. But yeah, I remember as a child having those type of phones. It took a while to dial it, to dial a number. And I remember being over my aunt's, and I went to use the phone, and I stared at it for a few minutes before I remembered how to use it. So it's one of those things that if you don't know what it is, it takes a while.
So it kind of, it has to click. So when you put that number.
After it's over, I'm gonna find you a picture of it, because I'm not describing it well, but it's like dial it and it goes on, dial it, turn it, and then it winds back around.
Yeah. You have to turn the number. Yeah.
Yeah. Not even a push button. Okay. Who do we have left?
I'll go.
Okay, Ross. Which number would you like?
Was 5 taken?
No, it wasn't.
I'll go with that.
Okay. Oh, it looks like I got duplicated too, but that's okay. No one else. A clock radio. Ross, you are going to sell us a clock radio.
Madam Table Topic Master, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters. Glennis, how would you like to have a 2-in-1 function instrument? You would normally say that radio might be good, but a clock would be good. But we have this great product that combines both of them into one. So you don't have to wake up to the annoying beep, beep, beep sound when you set your alarm. You could set it to the radio and tune it to a particular station that you want and wake up to either the music or news or whatever you would like. And that would be a great addition to even the the newer devices that just have different types of tones. And one of the other features about it is that you could also be more productive, because studies have shown that while you're watching TV or being on the internet, your eyes are visually occupied. That lessens your attention. Whereas if you're listening to the radio, you could be doing other things and you're more free. So you could be getting your information without having to be online. And then it's easy to change channels, and you don't have to worry about viruses. You don't have to worry about the blackouts or internet going down, because the airwaves are already there, and most of them even have batteries for backup. So even if your power goes down, you can still listen to it and you can still wake up on time. And all these functionality is put in together and given to you in one device. And then for looking at the radio stations, you could select and choose if you're into whatever hobby, and you could be epicuring through the different aspects of whatever favorite hobby or favorite thing that you have. So with that, I'd like to have you jump on this opportunity before it's gone and take that radio.
Thank you, Ross. Great salesman. I actually remember it 20 years ago, I had a clock radio. And I got it because I was having a hard time getting up in the morning. And I was thinking, well, if I got up to music, it might be better if music woke me up. So I started using the clock radio. And I probably kept it up until I had a smartphone for a few years. But I depended on my clock radio because I wanted to wake up listening to music and not a beep, as Ross said. So good job. And Nora, have you ever seen a clock radio? I'm thinking at 21.
My brother actually has one at
have
home.
one?
My younger brother.
Okay.
And so when my parents banned having smartphones in the room, Mom, I'm calling you out. When they banned having smartphones in our rooms before we went to bed, my brother would he would have his clock radio on. He would just fall asleep to that. But then we noticed for some odd reason that how there's the wire where you would point it towards the signal, and then it would be where it's strongest. Whenever we got the wire close to his forehead, the signal would be strongest. And I just recorded a video of us taking the wire away, and the signal would be awful, bringing it closer, and it would just really good signal. So that was really weird. But yeah, that's my clock radio story.
I know I was watching a television show once, and the guy took the key fob and put it on his head, and he said, if your head kind of acts like an antenna to make the signal go out stronger.
Oh my God.
How true that is, but
That's so weird.
it might be some truth to that. Okay, I think everyone has gone except for Nora. Would you like to try one?
Yeah. I don't know which numbers I have. Number 6.
Number 6, a floor model 20-inch TV. I would like you to sell us a floor model 20-inch TV. Have you ever seen one?
20 inches. I don't know if I'm picturing what you're talking about.
Okay, I'm gonna Google.
You could just say an old tube TV instead of a LCD or LED.
Oh, is it like one of those the box looking ones?
Yes, box looking one with 2 antennas that you might see in
Oh.
movies and stuff. So
Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay, so Madam Table Topics Master and fellow Toastmasters, give me 1 second.
Should I keep the timer going?
Nah. While we wait, I'll show you guys, well, at least show who the rotary dial phone. It was a pink one. I remember having, my aunt had a black one.
I
They're
don't think
they're
anyone
still
here ever
selling
used
that.
Hmm?
They're still selling that.
Yeah, apparently on Amazon, you can get a pink one.
Yeah.
Really? None of you have ever used one of those, right? Glennis, you never used one.
Yeah, my
Oh,
aunt
you
had one.
did?
Yeah.
I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I believe when I was very young, we had one at our house.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
if you call the Dearborn Performing Arts Center, for a while the recorded message was, if you don't have a touchstone, just wait for the operators.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So
Wow.
the dial phones over there. So
Ah.
Okay. Back to Nora.
All right, I'm back. Sorry, he was silent until I started speaking. It's like he was waiting for me. So, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Madam Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters. I have seen these TVs before, and I think they're quite interesting pieces. A lot of houses like to have this kind of vintage feel to them, and the TV doesn't necessarily have to operate. It can just be there kind of as a conversational piece. You can share this with people and tell them how you acquired it in this really old garage sale in this haunted abandoned house that you came across. And it could be an interesting story. And on the other hand, there are people who remodel these TVs to look like something else. I have seen them kind of being used as these mini theaters, or people use them as display cases for other pieces that they have in their house. They can also be disassembled for parts, and people make jewelry out of anything these days. I'm one of those people. So having a bunch of like old TV parts to turn into some kind of jewelry sounds amazing. You could start a whole collection out of that. The TV also has this nice, lovely wood all around it that can be turned, if you put a cushion on top of that, you can turn it into an ottoman. So this TV can be turned into anything and incorporated into your house to give it maybe a more vintage feel, or maybe when you have guests over, you just want to start a conversation about something. Madam Table Topics Master and fellow Toastmasters.
Thank you, Nora. I actually remember people having these TVs, and they were very heavy. The TV would stop working, and instead of them moving it out of their house, they just put another TV on top because it was furniture. I mean, that's just, you just didn't.
I can imagine with the wood all around it. It's very pretty to look at though, but I assume not practical.
And I remember the TV and also the record player in one. It was just a long console. Maybe a TV, and then you got a record player. So just to think back. So I think everyone has gone, and it's 5:10. Mr. Toastmaster, how would you like to proceed?
I'll pick one for you, Glenn.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. How about number 1?
Oh, that's a nice one. I've been selected to sell you a pet rock. Years ago, you might remember these. But I'm going to sell you a pet, the perfect pet. You don't have to clean it. You don't have to clean up after it. You don't have to feed it. It just sits there, but it's your companion. You can pick it up, you can pet it and rub it. And if you like, just because you're like that, you might want to clean it and dress it up. So when you take it out, you can show people, because people want to see it. You can even put it in a little basket and carry it around. And it's almost like, you know, people look at dogs. You know how women carry the dogs in their purse. So you could get a little bag for your pet rock. You'll be the talk of the town. No one is going to have a pet rock like your pet rock. You'll have the joy of naming it, and you'll have the joy of showing it around. And as an added incentive, your kids will have the type of pet that they don't have to worry about maintaining. And you don't have to be concerned about maintaining or cleaning up after that pet, because it's theirs and they'll be able to take care of it. Your pet rock, just $9.99. All right, Mr. Toastmaster, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Glennis. Great job.